and welcome to Geopolitical Trends, where truth matters. I'm gonna be doing the last live from Canton Tower, which I already sent you a picture of last time. So it's close to me right here. That's what I can see. You know, it's very, very tall, guys. It's unbelievable as how high. I don't remember the exact height of it, but I can tell it's very, very tall, and it will make a nice jump. You know, but bungee jump stuff. So anyway, what you're looking at right here, it's the main bridge. That's from the tower, and it takes you. I'm gonna just go around this way here, and you see, this is the bridge. It goes all the way around, and I'm gonna be walking into that area. So, but first, I just want to give you a panoramic vision, if I may use the term here, just to see the developments in Guangzhou for the last 20 years or so. I mean, it expanded beyond at least what the locals have mentioned to me. And even during my conversation with Jerry and Fernando, they've been here a long time, they're almost a quarter century. They mentioned to me how the growth of the city, especially for Jerry, because he's only about an hour and a half from here. So once again, here is the big tower here, and I am going to be walking into the other direction. So, by the way, guys, just make sure you prepare a question or two. I will answer them for you. I didn't want to use a mic here because it drops. So there's a lot of interference because a lot of people have cell phones. Somebody's taking a picture here, so I gotta wait till he's done. So there we go. To them is the norm. You can cross in the middle of. So let me show you another scenery from here where you can see. And the reason why I wanted to do it this time, because this is the best time as far as the lighting, because the light's gonna turn on soon. So I want you to see it as it happens. So, but again, what you notice is the growth of this particular area. A lot of people come over here, just sit down on a bridge, just enjoy quietness. They're really, what I noticed, guys, it's just Chinese truly enjoy life, the simplicity of it. You see the family, you see the boyfriend and girlfriend, you see the grandpa with the grandkids and grandma with the grandkids. It's a family oriented, and when they move in groups. You know, hardly ever you see a single person by himself or herself. Yeah, I'm sure it is somewhere, but you don't see that a lot. So again, I'm gonna show you this scenery right here, which I'm gonna go over to those two tall buildings right there. So I'm gonna be walking towards that area. There is a nice walkway, which is about 35 minutes or so. I'm gonna walk over there, and it lit up at night so you can see it. And like I mentioned, people are just sitting here quietly enjoying their time here, seeing the sunset, even though there's no ocean here, but at least they can notice you know, oh, I'm looking up, and look guys what I can see. I'm gonna raise this all the way to see somebody's flying kite. I don't know if you can see it or not. Most likely you won't. Yeah, but anyway, someone is flying kites here. It's black, that's why you couldn't see that one here. So as I mentioned, people are just sitting around here chilling out. Foreigners are here as well. Everybody just snapping pictures around the area. It's because there's a lot to see, and when you look at the structures of the buildings, this wasn't here 20 years ago, at least from what I was told. So even this bridge itself has been constructed recently. So let me show you the enormous size of this infrastructure right here. And it goes all the way down to the other side. So right there. And once again, when you stretch your sight all the way there, you're seeing just big high-rise building. This is the main river here. I think there are boats here at night. They let up and turn the lights on, and Once again, I wanted to show you the other side. The reason I wanted to show, because I can't just show you this, guys, because you need to see the other side that I did, like I did this morning at 3 o'clock in the morning. I got up, I couldn't sleep. So what I decided to do, bless you. Of course, they don't understand. They don't speak the language. I decided to step outside and see. There was nobody there except those people that they were working. Now, I'll admit, I did see some people sleeping out. Now, here is the difference. I can't tell whether they are homeless people, poor people, or whatever. The reason I couldn't definitively conclude or conclusively conclude that is because I didn't see like the way we see back home. When you see back home, you see people under the bridge with the cart and this and that and tents. I didn't see that here. But nonetheless, I did see a few people, just young people, just sleeping because it's too hot here. So, and my assumption is that not everybody has air conditioning. And again, I can't judge this because I don't have the facts. One thing for sure is that what I noticed at 3 o'clock in the morning, people are working. That's why they were moving those garments. I asked what it is. They said some sort of a clothing, whatever that was. The fact that is at 3 o'clock in the morning and they are doing work. So once again, as you notice, everybody's sitting here, just relaxing. I'm gonna show you the plantation right here. So look at this one. This is not fake, by the way, guys. Look at this one here. Yeah, this is not fake. It's a real plant. So, and everybody respecting all this. You can't step on this. You can't. So it's a cross. I'm gonna show you because I don't want to show people's faces. See, it goes all the way around the bridge, and that's where you see the scenery of all this. Very, very nice, very clean. So the same thing with everything is clean. Just look at that. You don't see any garbage right here. Everything is clean. So, and again, this is because that's how they want their country to be. That's how they want their country to be perceived, especially for us foreigners coming here. And you see something like this and you say, how clean, how nice it is. So they are doing good for their own country. They want to give that image, and they are giving that image, and they are succeeding at it. That is the hard truth that the West is not willing to accept. So the country is spending its resources on improving the infrastructure, the livelihood of the people, and the conditions of living, or the living conditions rather. So, and again, I don't shy away. You guys know me by now. Know where our tax dollars is spent on. I mean, let's be honest about it. And I'm still livid at the idea that I have to pay taxes. I'll pay my fair share if it is used for building infrastructure at home, if it is used for something useful. But to be wasted among corrupted politicians, I got a problem with that. So, and I will not stay quiet about this because it matters. Maybe more Americans will wake up and understand the reality of it. So how it is. But anyway, this is where you see this infrastructure right here. Because where is this all coming from? It's from the government's investment in improving the conditions. Now, in the old town, there are certain sections that needs to be sort of taken care of. And I am sure the city will address that in due time, one step at a time. But also they don't want to lose touch with that reality of that, because that's part of the Chinese history also. Like I said yesterday, every city so far that I've visited, it tells a story about, it's basically a reflection or a representation of China's story. That's the way I read it. So, and it's, once again, I want to give you guys this view right here. I want you to see. Hey, I'm getting better at this YouTube stuff on doing live. So, but thanks to your tips, guys, some of you have really helped with the tips here and there. Except I read a comment yesterday, by the way. Someone said that I am being paid by the Chinese government. So, how stupid that is. But again, what do? You forgive ignorance. So I'm still going down the bridge here. I'm going to the other side. And if you notice, there's not a lot of people on this side, but if I'm gonna go over to the, not go over, but just turn the camera over. See, That's the majority of where people sitting because it has the overview of the tower, this big tower here, okay? And also the buildings there and the other bridge on the other side. So this is again where the investments of this country is spent on the their tax dollars, and to me it makes more sense. So something once again I wish, and I'm really sad that we couldn't even have a speed train that connects cities. It still bugs me, guys. It's still I'm glad, I'm happy for whatever developments they have achieved and so forth, but for us, I just can't believe it. There are some foreigners passing by here. Hey guys, where are you from? What? Russia. Yeah, there are foreigners here passing through. So everybody from different parts of the world. So, and everybody's welcome here. You know, I've seen Pakistanis, I've seen India, Bangladesh. Yesterday I got on the elevator at literally 3 o'clock in the morning was somebody from Sri Lanka, and they don't care. As long as you respect the laws, you maintain order, and that's all it matters. That's all it matters. So, yeah. And again, to go back to that speed train thing, as I said, I was really floored when I entered into that speed train to take it from Shenzhen to Guangzhou. And I was like, oh my gosh, we call ourselves the richest country on earth. We couldn't even have something like this. And by the way, you know how much it cost me to the ticket? Like $28 or 29 bucks for first class. Yeah. And I only took first class because I wanted to show you that. Usually second class is fine with me because second class was no different than the first class for me. And again, it just was one of those ideas that I figured. And again, it pained me to realize all the waste that my government is doing and not building what's need to be done for the country. So now let's go back to the. By the way, I need to give you a brief, just a few words about the Canton Fair. As I mentioned, I had to do one for you guys, just for you to see, because I went back today because I felt I didn't do enough. But again, I can't cover everything. You all know how it is when you travel and moving around from one location to the next. I had to move around a lot, and next time I'm here, I'm gonna be fixed in about 2 or 3 locations, no more, because I need to learn more about the country. I can't be just traveling, moving from one location. I'm very grateful, don't get me wrong, but I need to learn more about the country to understand it. And because to understand a country, you have to learn about its history. To understand its history, you will know its present time and its future. And I am one of those, I'm an analyst, and I have to think in terms of the next 10, 15, 20, 25 years, what will become of China. And I'm already trying to figure out in my own way by thinking outside the box and see what are the possibilities. What are the possibilities? Which direction China is going to go? You know, because here is the example. When you think about this location, Guangzhou, and the reason it evolved much because you have to go back to even the era of I think after Jiang Zemin, Hu Jintao. If you know a little bit about the leadership in China, back then Hu Jintao is the one to initiate the policy of improving the universities here in China. And at that time was the argument, and I shared this conversation with Jerry, and he's very knowledgeable about this one here, the idea of also improving the standing of a Chinese university. Now when you look at the standard of the world, Chinese universities are moving up. They are moving up the ladder because they start to be a focus. Back then, during the time of Hu Jintao, was about just improving universities. Later on, that policy changed into, now we're going to focus in specific fields, academic fields, that is. And this is why when you think about the technology aspect, by the way, China produces about 5 million STEM graduates a year. 5 million. I was under the impression it was 1 million. I asked here, I was told 5 million. Now, I know when I asked, people is not going to be giving me numbers, hypothetical. So, 5 million STEM graduate. Just think about, let that sink in, guys, just for you to understand. So once again, I want to show you while I'm walking here. Here's that bridge that I walked over. I forget the name of it, I'm sorry, but just to show you where this is. And the big tower, which is gonna lit up soon. I hope it does while I'm still live. Sometimes the connection drops, but yeah, here's the tower, way up there. So and this is where you see, this is the boat I talked to you about earlier with the start to take passengers and go around the river. So the idea that the country is investing in its own infrastructure. When I say infrastructure, I'm not referring just to the bridges and canals and so forth. I'm talking about infrastructure including brain power. You know, this is why you are noticing Chinese scientists are returning back home. This is why you notice, which by the way, guys, you know, there are foreign professors teaching here at universities. So I won't be the first one or the last one for that matter. Why? Because education system, the way it's set up here, you still have that kind of desire to learn. You know, I used to teach back home, and you know the story. I'm not going to beat the dead horse here. It was if you try to discipline the students, you become the bad professor. Well, like, wait a minute. I am not here to socialize with you. I am not here to be your friend. I am here to teach you something that can serve you in life. And they don't seem to like that because you have to pamper to them. You have to worry about how they feel, or rather how they think. And I won't have it. Let alone, some university asked me, the president of the university asking me, well, Dr. O, can you just, stand there, read the slides to them? I almost feel like saying, F you. You know, me standing just reading? What kind of education is that? So here in China, at least you still have that discipline. Students respect the professor, and the professor respects the students. There's that mutual. That's the way I see it with the population here. Why there is the best word I can describe is the trust between the government and the governed, meaning people. So that's the way I see it, and that was to me why that idea as far as teaching in China became more prevalent, and I am going to pursue some conversation with some individuals. There are some, by the way, guys, just because we are in a community here. You know me with the transparency. You need to know there are people behind the scene trying to help me out because they saw the value, what I can add, what I can bring to the table. So that is the reason why they are willing to, and that's to me, it's a responsibility. You know why? Because they trusted me, and I can't let them down. I can't, no matter what. So anyway, and this is where, again, why I wanted to do the outgoing video from this location. It's because I want to highlight the progress, the developments that Guangzhou has sort of experienced in the last 2 decades. The other thing is, Hang Ng put a comment. I hope you guys can read it. He talked about how the Silk Road in China from way back, it was all about connection. With the Middle East and Asia, Europe, Africa, and so forth, even the Arctic. And I wrote about it in my Russia book, about how China invested in the infrastructure in the Arctic because the world is changing and they wanted to be part of that. And that's rather where the investments ought to be. That's the way I see it, and it's working. So. Once again, am I criticizing my country? No, I am pointing out the shortcomings that needs to be told, that needs to be said, that needs to be expressed, that needs to be openly known by everybody. Sadly enough, that majority of Americans are too oblivious, and second, they are too distracted because they choose to be distracted. They are not willing to push themselves a little harder and start to learn about other countries' history and so forth and learn. It's not about just China, it's about other countries. You look at just with what we did in Ukraine and we thought that we're gonna sink Russia's economy. Where is it? Russia's doing far better than it did before the conflict erupted. So it's just the short-sightedness of our politicians who are nothing but a corrupted politicians, no more, no less. So that's the way I see it. Oh, I see somebody writing here. Modi said India is today the fastest growing. Here's the thing about India, guys. There are potentials, but those potentials have to be realistically assessed. Politicians, remember, like in every other country, politicians use certain issues to push the agenda one direction or another. So, and one of them has to do with China. So that is where that difference is, and you need to understand. So I came to the end of the bridge here, guys, because I'm gonna cross over, and I just once again I wanted just to show you where everything is here. So here's that big bridge. And look, there's the construction going on right there. So yeah. Tugi Levy, you're right. Hard work, not corruption. You're absolutely correct. So I'm gonna take you to the other side to see behind this structure. There is a nice walkway there. So I have to clear this security here. They check bags. There is no issue. Nobody ever put me checked my bag, whatever. No, they just have to go through the process like everybody else, and I got no issue with it whatsoever because they need to know who's in and who's out. And I think for the safety of everybody, that is the way it ought to be. There is no other way of looking at it. I don't see any problem with it. And look, everything is clean. Everything is clean here, organized, no issues whatsoever. So I'm gonna go this way here. This is sugar cane, by the way. Somebody makes sugar cane. So, yeah, look at that, guys. He's making sugar cane from this one. So once again, the reason why I wanted to show you this and do the outro video from this location is to show how modernized Guangzhou is. It's not has become, is. Because this development took about, 20 years or so based on my conversation. And still, I'm going to show you here, guys. If you look at, I'm going to point it out. See that building there? See at the top. What do you see? You see cranes. They're still building up. They're still building up. So that's the... And again, because what I noticed is in this culture, they don't talk, they do. So when the government embark, and again, I am not advocating for a government, whatever, you all know this. I am advocating for what's factual, because facts and truth matter. So when the government decides, this government here in Beijing decides on a policy, decides on a strategy, they embark on it. They set the deadline, they set the parameters for success, they do the due diligence study to understand the feasibility of whatever project, and they move forward with it. This is why things gets accomplished. Yeah, simple as that. And the unfortunate thing for us is just we talk. Our politicians just talk. So. And once again, look at, guys, just the ground, how clean that is. Yeah, and people are sitting in an orderly way and no issues whatsoever. So, like I mentioned last time, by the way, the question that I know many are asking, even here, I talked to some people, is what's next for China? So. And rightly so, because you're gonna have to always think ahead. The leadership will never be there forever. No leader stays forever, because there is something we all have to face one day, which is our death or our demise. It's a reality. We can't shy away from it. We can't pretend that it ain't gonna happen. And I know some people feel uncomfortable talking about that. I don't, because I know it's a fact of life and I'm okay with it. If my time is up tomorrow, be it. If my time in the next 40 years, I get to see more changes in the world. So, and hopefully I will still have the channel. I still have the channel to talk about. I'll be very old, but hopefully my mental capacity will stay there. And I do intend to keep that sharp because this is the importance of staying fit. That's why when you guys hear me sometimes talk to you about health, it's not I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to ensure that you understand the importance of being. Hi. See, he's just nodding his head. That's his way of saying hi because he doesn't speak the language, and that's fine. So they're people. They're just so simple. They don't care who you are. They don't, and I like that. No judgments, no judgments. So, and I truly appreciate that. The light on the tower didn't come on yet, but I am getting closer to those big giant towers here, right here. Look at those ones, guys. Oh, Levy, Tugi Levy, you said, thank you, Dr. O, you're most welcome. Yeah, I don't thanks to this guy with this, what you call them, guys? Balloons, whatever. Can't get in there. You're not allowed to walk in. Yeah, if you noticed, the police, they are limiting. They are the vendors here. They can stay right. No, don't worry. I won't show you. No, I won't do that. I won't do that. I'm just showing this one here. No, not the face. This one here, guys, this is where they sell. And look what they're selling. You know what this is? You know what this is? This is sweet potatoes. Yeah, look what, instead of chips or whatever, this is far healthier for you than you. So they have here, this is sodas, you know. I don't want to show anybody because they don't feel comfortable and I gotta be respectful. This is just some sodas here, water and so forth. So, but they can cross the gate here. They are not allowed, and the security will not let them because they want to keep things organized. So, simple as that. So, once again, I'm getting into that area here. We still have some time, and and by the way, guys, thank you all for your comments. I do read them, and I try to answer as much as I can. And by the way, some of you have bought me coffee and bought me tea. My apologies if I didn't respond to that is because I'm only using my phone. I can't use my computer because of the connections. It's slightly different. And I have to switch from one account to the next. So, but I am aware of it. And as soon as I get home, I will say thank you to those individuals. And I am very grateful. So, because this trip, guys, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if she wants to be on the camera or not, but that's her dad. She wants to show on the camera, but I kind of didn't want to because I don't like to. I gotta be respectful of that. If the parents agree, then I'll do it. But if the parents hesitating, I will not do it. Wow. Hi. Can I ask a question? No. See, they don't. She was dressed in some traditional Chinese. They're teenagers, but I guess. But anyway, I don't. When they say no, or they don't want to be on a camera. I respect it. So, what was I saying, guys? Because of the trip. Yeah, regarding the trip. Once again, I don't take it for granted. And I want you to know, to that person who put that comment, that is the Chinese government that I'm being paid for, he or she does not understand that this trip was funded by you guys. And I'm gonna make sure that it is known. So this way, the stupid comments will cease to exist. So, but it's not worth spending the energy on, whatever, but it won't matter. Let me take one more look, show you the tower again. Look at the tower, guys. It's gigantic. No, you won't be on the camera. Don't worry, he got nervous. See how big that is. So I'm gonna go to the other side and just walk around there. So And just want to go back to that point of what's next for China. So, what do you guys think? Because I like to have your input. If you can just type in something very short so I can see it. Remember, messages on this live here, they only appear for literally a second or two and disappear. So if you can type in your insights into how do you see the future of this country moving forward. There's nice restaurants here. There are some high-end stores and all that. A New York Park. No. You wouldn't want to walk on New York Park at night. No. By the way, yesterday, guys, at night, late at 3 o'clock in the morning, I saw a female by herself. I mean, I was surprised and amazed, but it was fine. So it was safe. Everything is safe. Everybody's just walking and no issues there. So I started with as low as River Night. The river, I did it with Jerry. I'm not gonna do that again. And I'm not a big fan of, to me, monuments and all that stuff is good, but I always care about understanding the history of how a country came to be. But I did the river with Jerry, and thanks to Fernando, because it was Fernando that extended the invitation for the ferry, and I am very grateful and thankful to him for that. So also Jerry invited me for dinner, and so I'm very, very grateful. I will return the favor at some point in time. So it was so great to link up with them, to the point, guys, I'm starting to think maybe I need to start to think about organizing something for like-minded people who speak truth. You know, this is not about, and I will be talking to you about it, the community, when I get back. So concerned citizens, thank you so much for your super sticker. Really, really appreciate you for that. And something about oil from Iran, right? You know, I'm following up a little bit on what's going on with Iran. And when I get back home, I will do one particular analysis for you, because it's exactly what I addressed in my book. So, but that's for another discussion. For now, the focus is on Guangzhou here. And here, I want to show you this view again. I'm going to move over to the side here and show you the bridge. Look at that. Look at that one, guys. That's where I walked from, on the other side of the river. Incredible, beautiful. And once again, look at just the sides of the wood fence here. Look how clean the stuff are. So there are a lot of potentials. Chinese people, what I gathered so far here, they are business oriented. To those who are at that age, you know, they won't want to pretend to be someone or somebody. They are who they are. And I had a conversation yesterday with one. I didn't get permission to disclose the name, but we had an interesting conversation. And the guy strikes me like very, 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 very business oriented, straightforward, and no pretending whatsoever. So they don't, because time matters. So they're not gonna waste their time on silly stuff and try to inflate their ego and like, I am this and I am that. And you know, some people here, they won't even tell you they have a PhD. They won't till you find out. Hello. And look at people just waving. Just nice people. I don't know them, but they're just waving. So here is another person just waving. I don't know him, and I was telling my people that how nice Chinese people are. And a lot of people do not know this. And I am experiencing this here with all of Chinese people. They wave to me, say hi, even I don't know them. So thank you for saying that. So, like I said, guys, it's the energy of it. It's I'm gonna switch this to me here so you can see. It's the level of energy, you know, and you feel very excited because it means something. So when they say hi to you, they mean it. They don't try to be just nice. No, that's their personality. That's their, you know, I want to say hi. Another human being. I'm just gonna say hi. So what? You know, and the notions that's been told, oh, you're gonna have to fear the Chinese. You're gonna have to do this, do that. Well, where is that? Where is that? I don't see that. I walked at 3 o'clock in the morning. 3 o'clock, nobody, who cares? People are working. They don't bother anybody. But it's just this kind of, like I said earlier, guys, the West does not want the masses to wake up. That is the reason for it. Let me see who put this super sticker here. Van, thank you very much, Van, for your super sticker. Truly appreciate you for that. Let me switch this one back. Now that I learned how to manage this one, you know, I'm kind of a late learner, but I learn quick. And I am glad I got this stabilizer, because I will be doing a lot of lives for you from back home, because there are certain issues I'm going to bring to the fore. Whether the government likes it or not, I ain't my business. I don't care. So look at this structure here, guys. This is just, look at this one. Yeah. Very, very, very nice organized. Last time they had a food festival here, but I couldn't do live here because it was so loud. You won't be able to hear me. That was the reason why I didn't want to do it. So I decided to wait till I do the outgoing video from here. So. Oh yeah, they're starting. They're starting right here. So I'm gonna cross on the other side. Because it's about time for the lights to turn on. It didn't turn yet, but oh, light stand. Thank you for yeah, because I didn't know what it was first, and I was like, but at night, you're right. The light comes on, and you see them along with the big tower. You know, I'm gonna move to it right there. There's 2 towers behind it, so. So that's what it is. So it's just very peaceful, very, you know, like I said, mind your own business. Nobody's gonna bother you. Don't bother anybody, and everything will be fine. So, you know. And I'm still filled with sadness, I'll admit it, because where my country is. Because I've been watching the decline for the last 25 years or so. So this didn't happen last year or last decade. We're talking about the last 25 years that I've noticed. And it was just a matter of time, and here we are. We're coming now to, is the end. The end. There are those who disagree with me, which they are entitled to their opinion, and I respect it, but that's their point of view. So for me, I know what to look for, and all I can tell is we are at the end of our hegemonic journey. So, and this is, again, as a geopolitical analyst, why I am trying to help you start to ask the questions regarding this country, regarding the future. What will become of China's moving forward? Because it's a question that will impose itself for us. Like, for example, I'm already thinking in terms of when, for example, the foreign minister, Mr. Wang Yi, who is a seasoned diplomat, very, very statesman, when he leaves, who's going to be replacing him? Will be somebody of his stature. The same thing with President Xi Jinping, who's going to be replacing him. There are those who say Li Qiang could be the one. I don't know at this point. I don't know. I'm just starting to think, because I feel it's time for me to start thinking about this, especially if it is, I consider teaching here, or doing consulting business, or doing speaking engagements, which I would like to do. By the way, guys, I don't know if, I never mentioned it much, but if you know any circles where they will want to have a speaker that can address geopolitical matters, international affairs, and so forth, I'll be happy to do it. So that is one of the aspects that I am considering of doing. Again, I'm gonna give you another view from this side here of the river, of the tower. It's close by now, over the river. So, right there. Oh, I'm noticing some heated conversation about India. What's going on, guys? Yeah, so anyway. Yeah, this is another view here, guys. You'll want to see. And funny, it's about the sun about to go down and the light is not in yet. So, yeah, Canton Tower, that is correct. Oh, the subway here is incredible. It's incredible. Yes, of course, you can compare it to New York. And I've been in New York last year, went to the subway. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable that a country, we call ourselves a very rich country, and yet we couldn't. You know what? I'm gonna do this, guys, and I'm gonna walk through where, I don't know what the procedures are. Because I need you to see how interactive people are, and they just minding their own business. But I don't know if I can get in through here, because I guess there's some different procedure. How do I get in? From here or here? I don't want to show the... hold on a second, I need to add. How do I get in? This way? No. Do I go around? Oh. Thank you very much. He told me that I have to go underground, and why not? They're facilitating this, guys, by you don't have to go all on the, you can go underground and go from one end to the next. So I'm going to show you. Look at that. Everybody is disciplined, organized, and so I'm going to do it. Why not? Hopefully I won't lose connection here, but let's see. So I'm going through the elevator here, guys, and here, just to show you, this is what I'm going. Anybody can read this one? Ancient stations. So, and once again, look, guys, how clean this stuff is. And I'm just showing you what I see. You know, this is not about promoting this or promoting. I'm showing you what I can see and what I am seeing in different parts of the country. You know, yeah, look at that. So I'm going underground now, and hopefully I won't lose my connection. I have to walk quick here to go to the other side. Yeah, there's not a lot of people crossing because they cross over from the other side of the bridge, and I am going to do it and from underground. So above me here is the part of the bridge that is connecting the two sides. So I'm just underground. It was the same like the bridge that I came through from Macau into Hong Kong. The bridge, part of it was underwater. So, and the whole bridge was about literally 28 to 30 minutes long. So, brand new bridge. I know it opened in, I was told it was inaugurated in June 2024, but they've been working on it for a while. So, once again, guys, the idea of this trip for me to China, it's to, first of all, a dream of mine that come true, and I have to thank you for that. And second is, I do talk about China sometimes, but not sometimes, I do talk about China, if not most of the time. Now I got lost, I don't know where to find the exit. I needed, because you can't be doing that till you step foot in the country to see with your own eyes. So there's some, and that is one of the reasons why I was very excited about the trip here. And again, I feel it's just the beginning of a new journey that I'm gonna embark on. I'm gonna be preparing something for you for the end when I return back home. I'm not gonna disclose what it is. It's a surprise, and I want it to be that way. But you will understand its meaning once I'll share it with you and all that stuff. Yeah. Wow, there is another level below here. So check this out, guys. This is underground. Look at these vehicles. Look at that. Those are high-end vehicles. That's a Lamborghini. So they are right here underground. So whatever that is. This one I think is yes, a subway station in the bottom. But I'm gonna go up on the other side. So, and we are gonna go the stairs, the escalator here. It is nice to experience this with the people here, guys. That's the difference. You can't be, it's like what I always used to tell when I was in Iraq, for example, and you got somebody come from State Department. Well, I'm here to do assessment so I can send the analysis to the president of the United States. And I say, well, how can you do that if you don't step foot in Baghdad for you to see the reality for what it is? Oh, no, Mr. O, I can't go to Baghdad. It's like, and you're going to be sending a report to the White House or president, whatever, to make a decision without you even seeing? What kind of judgment is that? Well, it's too dangerous. And I was like, well, that comes with the territory. So what do you expect? And I kind of just realized, you know, there's nothing you can do about that. That's how those people are. So, all right, let me see which way I need to go here. While I'm, yeah, people are getting their cameras here, and they're gonna be, yeah, I can go this way here, and walk on that side. Some of the, it's just a little loud. If I go there, guys, you won't be able to hear me much. That is the reason why I'm not going there. But there are some food stands, some merchandise. It's just a getaway for families to come over and hang out, bring their kids, and that's what it is. Next trip, you need to ride business class on the, yeah, I will try it. Next time, most likely when I come back, I have to go to Beijing and Shanghai, and I will do, I know it's a 4-hour ride, and I might, I'll do the business class next time. I did see the business class. It's incredible. Those chairs, I think they become like a bed. It's like first class on the planes, but on the subway is very, very different. So here is one look I want you guys to see. Look what it says right there. Can anybody read it? Right there, guys. What does it say? Yeah, just type in that in chat box if you would like. So, and again, this is a view from the other side. Should take the night river cruise on the Pearl River. It is the rain, but it's just water. So, actually, I do have an umbrella. Somebody gave me an umbrella at the fair. So. But it's nice. I don't care. It's just water. So. And once again, when you look at the view here, guys, it's all. This is the developed area. This is the new development here. This is the big towers right here, and I'm going closer to that area, right there. So, and just the rest of them is on the other side. There's security here. I'm not gonna put the camera on them. Those are not security, those are military police, if I'm not mistaken, and the security on this side. But I tend to be very, very mindful of that because it's their structure, and I am very respectful of that. So, yeah, it's raining. I love Guangzhou. That is correct, Lee. That's what it says. That's what it says. So, it's just passing rain. It's nothing major. So. Walking in the rain in Guangzhou, whoever thought, right? And that is the beauty of travel like this. And this is why, guys, I am going to be doing more travels to other locations after I'll talk to you, because it will be your decision as to which location you would like me to visit next. So let me get my my umbrella. Bear with me here, guys. and because I have one here somewhere, and they gave it to me, and they said you could have this umbrella if you like. So bear with me here, guys. Okay, let's. All right, I got the umbrella. How do you open it? I don't know. It's not working, but. Oh, you pull. Sorry, guys. Here we go. Finally, I got it. Sorry for jiggling this. Just I had to stretch this one here and. Oh, okay. I'm gonna get my backpack, put it back up, and we'll keep walking. Wow, this is unexpected rain. Yeah, right there, guys. It's unexpected. And it's okay. It's beautiful. Very, very, very nice. And it cools off a little bit. Yeah. By the way, today, guys, I had a picture with an elderly. He was about 80, I think 83 or 85. And he was behind a big stone marked with 1949 to 2020 or something like that. And someone was passing by because I took picture of the gentleman himself, the elderly, and that person, the other one, was speaking English a little bit. And he said to me that the reason he took this picture because he remembered when he was young. He used to be in the military or police, one of the other. And he remembered back then in 1962. So I asked the person who speaks English, I said, can you please ask the elderly, how does he see the transformation of China from that time to now? So it was like overwhelming for him, but he did respond. He said, those buildings there, they weren't here 20 years ago, and this wasn't here, and this wasn't there, and so forth. And he was very excited to, he was speaking Chinese to me, but I couldn't understand him because I don't speak the language. So, and but it was a wonderful human being. Then before I left, he asked me, "Can I have a picture with you?" I said, "Sure." So we took picture together, and I'll share it with you when I get back home because I can't do it from here. So. Wow, it's raining. Nobody expected this. That's surprising. I'm glad I have an umbrella here. Okay, guys, well, this is what I have to share with you. Yeah, everybody's hiding under a tree. But it's okay. So it's good. It will cool off a little bit because it's very humid. So I'm gonna show you close to the tower. I'm going towards it. See that one there, guys? That's where I'm walking towards. Dr. O, did you get a chance to look at any translator device? No, I didn't find that I went to one place, but they didn't have I didn't ask, but I didn't see the store that will carry this kind of stuff. Second thing, I found out that there is an app that her name is Fleur. She is an avid supporter of the channel. She was in China, she told me last time, and she used that app. And the app I have to upload it, and it does fine. The ones I have, they kind of tricky, depends on the connection. If the connection drops, then it won't work for me. But I didn't find the store that, so I have to wait, believe it or not, till I get to Shanghai. Because in Shanghai, that's when I got the stabilizer, and I'll find out also about the mic because I want to get a good mic that I can use when I do lives because I will be doing that. And thank you for pointing that out. I appreciate you for that. All right, let me see another question from you guys. What's the name of the app? Oh man, she sent me. Hold on a second. Well, I can switch the screen because if I get off the screen, I won't see you again. Either AI translator, something because I looked at it already. Either I think it's AI translator. That's the one I remember seeing. So let me turn back up here to see if the light came on. Here is the view from this side here, guys. So from May to October to live in the north. Yeah, I was told that this weather is gonna be like this till December here in Guangzhou. In the north is different. So apparently it gets colder in Beijing and Shanghai faster than it does here in the south. The Flower City Plaza. Okay, thank you for sharing this. It is beautiful here. So I'm assuming by the time I get back to Shanghai, because that's when I have to take my flight back home, temperature, I already looked it up, and it dropped to about 60. So, Guangzhou. Okay, David, the device that Cyrus was promoting is called Thinkable. Okay, I'll check that out. So, it will be nice to have because I tell you, not everybody speaks English, and even whatever language I acquire ain't enough to carry on with the conversation, and I don't want to be. It won't work. So I rather know what I'm saying and I'm doing. So I better be patient about that one. But the app, yes, I agree with you. The app will be good to have. So, let me see another question from you guys. If there is one here. And once again, just to remind you, this is my outgoing video from Guangzhou. My stay in Guangzhou will end tonight, and I will embark on a plane, on a flight tomorrow to my next destination. It will be my last destination before my return to Shanghai and fly back home. So just to guys let you know, once again, I just want to keep it for you and as a surprise. And once I get there, I will do the same. So I will be addressing some heavy topics, if I may use the term. It's because it's very important to understand given my location, where I'm gonna be. So we're gonna, of course, I will do the scenery of the location. I already read up a little bit on it, just to update my knowledge about it, and just go from there. But that will be my last stop before I return back to Shanghai, and to go to Fujian University. The possibility is there. I am waiting for an email regarding that aspect. If I get the email, that means I'm gonna go and meet with the individuals that I need to meet with. If I don't get the email, then I won't, and just just walk around the city before my last time, before I sign off and headed back home. So that's the agenda. That's the plan so far. So, and I'm glad I'm yet waiting for the lights start to come here, guys. Look it up. By the way, at 3 a.m. yesterday when I was walking, there were no lights in the building. Makes sense. Why waste electricity? Because when I used to work in Washington, you go at 2 o'clock in the morning, the lights is on, nobody's there. What a waste. Now, I saw here that the buildings over the river were off after like midnight or so. I don't know what time they turned them off, but I was there at 3 in the morning, and so it just didn't work. They turned them off, and so. Jules, yes, I can do the interview via Zoom, but this is not an interview. This is just an introduction to meet the person first. You know, I think they do have a process here, and I intend to. Plus, I wanted to see the campus, if it is the one that I need to go to. Fujian University is big. and they have more than one campus. So, and they have more than one discipline. You're looking at technology, to AI, to medicine, to research, to... So I have to wait till I get the email, if I get the email, and it has to be in where the School of Humanities, and that's where the political science department is. I also need to take a look at Peking University, and that will be in my next trip, because I do plan on coming back here not 5 years from today, because it doesn't make sense, but I will be back here soon, so in due time. In the meantime, I will be talking to you guys later on about which location, next one, you would like me to visit. I do have some in mind, but I like your input. The community matters to me a lot, and your input means a lot to me. Your opinion means a lot to me. Here's the light coming on, guys. They turned the side light here, but the big tower, not yet, till it gets darker a little bit. So I don't know. You want me to get off here or stay with you live here? Because it will turn within the next, I think, 5 or 10 minutes. So, Dr. O, please read Chinese history, at least the recent history. I will do that. It's very important. And that was one of the reasons why I also wanted to come here. Because it's not enough to be talking about a country from a distance. If you can experience the culture, interact with its people, understand their traditions and values and so forth, I won't have a better idea about a society that has evolved, let alone has an old history that spans over 5 millennia. So this is one thing we don't understand in the West, because we're only a 200 plus year country. What's 200 plus in comparison to over 5,000 years? It's nothing. Nothing. So I'm even gonna be looking now for, I wanna find the book, if it's possible, both of them in the same book. The English version and the Chinese version of The Art of War by Sun Tzu. And I don't know if I can find that, because I don't read Chinese, but it will be nice to have. I know some books sometimes, old ones, they have the traditional language, and they have the translated version in the same book. So that's true, Jules. Only knowing the history will you understand. I couldn't agree more. And like I always say, and I don't shy away from it, we are poor readers of history. Simple as that. It's because we're not willing to put the effort. We want the media to do the analysis for us, the media to provide the facts, and the media to reach the conclusion for us. Because the media doesn't want us to think. If they allow people to start to think, they're gonna see a different reality. And that reality contradicts what the mainstream media narrative and the government narrative is. That is the reason why the West, majority, of course I shall not generalize, majority in the West are being kept in the dark. When you hear statements like, Chinese people are bad, they eat animals, this and that, it's ridiculous. I'm here, I see with my own eyes. And I'll challenge any Westerners who says otherwise, and I will challenge him or her to come here physically and see. They don't need me to tell them. They need to come here physically and see with their own eyes. But of course, they're gonna be intimidated because it's a different culture. One that they only heard a different narrative about. One that they only heard lies about. One that they never heard the truth about. And how the history of China has shaped the order of the world from way back. But just go back to Silk Road, guys. Go back to Silk Road. Go back to the time of what's his name? Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan. I'm sorry. Go back to Mongolian era. Go back to Marco Polo time. Go back to understanding all those changes that took place that have shaped the trajectory of the world history. And this is, once again, I'll go back to my point earlier. It is time for us to think now, as to what's next step for China. Question, did you try the AI bus? Not yet, not here. If I am to do that, I have to do it in Shanghai. And I am assuming there is one in Shanghai. Very back since before Shang Dynasty. Dr. O, do you consider visiting Taiwan? Possibly, possibly not. We shall see. We shall see. But here's the thing, guys, and that's again the importance of understanding history. I don't claim to know, because there are Westerners who visit and assume that they know the history of China just because they visited. Doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. To acquire the knowledge, you have to dig deeper into the research, into understanding, because that history didn't evolve in a vacuum. And that is where the importance of understanding where China is today. That's something that most of us in the West have no clue about. Yeah. Are you hurrying home to vote? No, I'm not. And I don't intend to vote. I am done with that system because the system is corrupted. And I don't shy away from it. And I am willing to face whomever, because like when I saw that comment about, well, you are now being paid by the Chinese, which is ridiculous anyway. So my assumption is, vote for what? Who are you gonna vote for? Just another corrupted leader? No, I'm not. I'm done with that. It's because there is no one to vote for. I've been watching where the country has been for the last 25 years. And now that I get a chance to see it, once again, guys, I'm not beating the dead horse here, but I can't get over it. Riding that speed train has really hit me hard. And I am not an emotional... Hello, look at this gentleman here. He just riding a bike and waving. And usually I'm not an emotional guy. You know, it takes a while for me to get emotional. So. But when I saw that, I just felt sad. And I'll say it, I'm not shy of hiding my feelings about it, because you're my community. I share with you the truth. I felt so sad that here is a rich country like ours and we don't even have something like this. So, and it becomes a question of, why do I need to vote for? For what? For them to waste more hours of my tax dollars? I have to pay some taxes now because they said, well, you made money, whatever. Yeah, I have no problem if you use it for infrastructure. But when you're gonna waste it, you know, just look at this. Look at this area here, guys. Just look. How do you think this happened? This didn't happen in a vacuum. This was the investments of the government. Here is another gentleman just waving. See how nice Chinese people are? Yeah, he doesn't know me. He's just waving. So, yeah, can your vote determine the right? No, it won't. It won't, because the vote we have is decided by the Electoral College, is decided behind closed doors. So even though it's written in our Constitution, one man, one vote, even back then, and I used to teach the US government course, even back then, when the founding fathers, yes, you have the respect for them, but they were looking after their own interest. They used to be the one to elect and select who's going to be in the Senate, so that person can serve their interest. It's no different than what we have today. So why will I vote when I know it's the Electoral College that's going to decide who the president is? It's not the people's choice, the people's voice. Because the moment you hit the magic number, 270, that's it. That's it. You win the Electoral College. Doesn't matter if the other party won 5 million votes. It's irrelevant. And that's, to me, it's not right. So why will I even bother voting? At least for me. And I made a decision on it, and I'm not going back on that. And then there is nobody to vote for anyway. The whomever running for office are not even qualified. So, simple as that. If it was somebody that I feel will put the country on a right track, then yeah, it's worth considering. But I already made my mind, I made up my mind, and I'm not interested in voting. So I'm not hurrying to come back. I am hurrying to come back to do live with you guys from home, like we always do, and I miss you guys. I really miss the community, but again, you gotta do the travel like this to share the knowledge and share with the community about other locations that I'm gonna visit. So, welcome to Guangzhou. I am indeed. It's so nice to be here, I tell you. Khadija, take your stand. That's correct, and that's what I feel. Nothing's gonna convince me to change my my mind, no matter what, because I am convinced there is no qualified individuals to vote for, or candidates, or whatever. There we go. I'm still waiting to see this light if it's gonna come off. So, and the way you look at it is the idea that if there was any goods gonna come from the government, meaning my government, I would have seen it in the last 15, 20 years. You look just the conflicts we got involved in. I argued against the invasion of Iraq because I knew what it was gonna lead to, but I also know the destruction that is gonna create in the region, in the Middle East. And yet my little advice was disregarded because most likely whatever I wrote ended up being in a garbage. They just threw it away. And because I'm not supporting the narrative. So, and that becomes the question of, why bother? I don't even my youngest is gonna vote or not. And he is starting to think in these terms of, it's like, what the heck with this government not doing what it's supposed to do? Even at his age, he's gonna turn 18 soon. And he starts to think in these terms. And I intend, by the way, guys, FYI, I intend at some point to bring him over to China, because I already mentioned to him that China is the future. The oldest ones are grown up, they are married, they have their lives. He's the youngest one, so I'm thinking about. Yeah, the corrupted system, the two parties control it. They really control that one. And they won't want anybody to change the narrative for it. And that, to me, it's not a... Yeah, I disagree with that approach of voting for... No, I'm not voting for anybody. Because they don't deserve it. You vote when a government works for its people. This is what I'm seeing here. When I see this infrastructure, when I see this orderly conduct here, when I don't see people sleeping under bridges with tents, when I don't see sewage broken, right? When I see electricity in every corner, when I see malls are packed with people going shopping, buying whatever they can afford, restaurants are packed, that's when you realize. And this is why people here don't talk about politics. It's not about them being afraid. They're not. It's because there's no need for it. Their argument is, we let the government take care of business. The government knows what it's doing. So why bother with it? That's their argument. And I couldn't agree more. So for us, it's the two political parties that are controlling the process. And again, as one who who taught the government course, I always used to shock my students when I tell them, by the way, guys, the two-party system has been controlling the political process for the last 150 years. That's why if your dad is Democrats, you're gonna follow in the footsteps of dad and mom and grandpa and grandma. If your dad is Republican, you're gonna follow in footsteps and so forth. But both parties are the same, two faces of the same coin. Yeah, and I'm not telling you guys something you don't know. You already know. You've been around. You're smart enough to know. So when you have a system like that, why would you want to bother with voting? I used to think in terms of the civic duties and all that. But duties for what? When the government couldn't do the right thing by the people. So I look at it just regarding China right here. Already, what you guys do not know, and I don't want to get ahead of myself here, I will talk about that topic in due time during this trip. There is already conversation in Washington about the policies that have been laid out now regarding Taiwan. Where the difference is that those policies have not been announced because the elections are not over yet. Till after November 5th, and you're gonna be hearing that. Yeah, please like the video. I will greatly appreciate it. I know YouTube is kind of limiting whatever. I don't know why, but life goes on. But I will appreciate it if you can share it. There are some people I met here. Once they find that channel, they subscribe to it. They like, we would love to read your stuff. So I would appreciate it, guys, if you hit the like button and share the video with others. Let me see. Yeah, I can go on this side here, guys. I'm gonna keep walking and go all the way to the end, walk back, and we'll just go from there. So at the same time, I look at your questions if you have any and answers them. David, I'm guessing they are preparing to dial down other areas of conflict and getting up to Taiwan. I agree with your assessment, and this is not new. In my days back in Washington, the conversation was started to be around 2002. But in 2002, it wasn't about Taiwan specifically. It was about Afghanistan. But even Afghanistan, it wasn't about Afghanistan. It was about Xinjiang. That's what it was about. And the reason being because of the BRI. And we were thinking in terms of us being in Afghanistan gives us access to that geographical area because, and I'm gonna do a detailed video for you guys when I get there with the maps and show you. Because if you look at that area, it's surrounded by 8 countries from Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Kazakhstan, and so forth. So, and you can understand why the argument was made back in 2002. Fast forward to 2007, of course, that came with the pivot of the Obama administration towards Asia. And I was at that time still traveling, still working in the government, and I was in Iraq when I got the word in Baghdad, oh, by the way, we're gonna shift from Baghdad. Why? Because we already destroyed Baghdad and we want now shift towards Asia. That's when the decision was made. So yeah, for us, it's not about the conflict because we can even defeat or we can even fight. So that's where the difference is. We can fight. So it's all about the tensions, no more, no less. And yes, you're right. They're gonna dial down from the other region, especially with Ukraine, because it became clear that now we destroyed Ukraine, and now we might end up sitting at the negotiating table and telling Ukrainians what to agree to, because Ukraine is useless anyway. So what's left is the Taiwan, and the Taiwan. This is what I'm saying. There are certain policies have already been put in place. You're gonna hear about them probably on November 10th, 15th, 28th, or something like that, before the end of the year. That's where the difference is gonna be. The Congress already allocated a few millions of dollars, or millions of dollars, not few, millions of dollars for weapons, okay? It's because that new leadership in Taiwan has been groomed for that. And of course, they coincide with the legislation passed or the bill of the Congress, the $1.2 billion anti-China propaganda. All this are nothing but signs. And the worst of them all is the statement by the candidate vice president, who's the one who ended up stating, oh, we're gonna have to defend Taiwan. If you notice, it wasn't Trump who said that, it was J.D. Vance. To remove the heat from the candidate president to the vice president. Because usually the vice president of the US is useless anyway. He's just ceremonial stuff. It was one that had a lot of influence during my time, and I experienced that because of the war in Iraq. It was Dick Cheney. And I had a colleague at that time who got a surprise visit from Dick Cheney. So this is where the difference is, guys, that I see coming. And I will be addressing that soon. Oh, here is the light coming on. So I'm gonna show you the light. Check this out, guys. Perfect timing for it. The attendance to BRICS, it won't work because I am an American citizen. You can't get into Russia. You have to have a visa. And given where tensions are, It's not gonna work this time. And I didn't expect it. It was the idea there, but this kind of stuff, it's not easy now with the tensions with Russia and so forth. There is no way it's gonna work. So I'm not, and I am returning home because the summit is on 22nd through the 24th. I will cover it for you when I get back because I won't have enough time. I might do it from here live like this, but it will be no pictures, it will be nothing. So I don't want to be just a talking head here. I like to show you pictures and so forth. So I do like to attend as an observer ASEAN summit or even next BRIC if it's possible. So I'm gonna be asking some people I know whether it is possibility or not. So, because remember now, with the US government, start to see the citizens who speak the truth, who wants peace. You know, my whole reason here, guys, I want to bridge this bridge between China and the US in the hope of preventing a destructive conflict. Because if a war breaks up between China and the US, there is no winner. We all know what it means. And I am trying in my own way, just by doing this, in the hope someone in Washington is listening and might say, you know what, this guy, whomever, this Dr. O, whatever, he's speaking common sense. But we all know how it is in Washington. So that's a... I couldn't read that question before. Okay, one question, I couldn't read it because it went by fast. So let me see the next one here quickly if I get to it. Dr. O, if you are visiting Beijing, check out the new airport Daxin. Not this time. I am not going to Beijing this time because I don't have time. By the time I return to Shanghai, I only have 1 day and I'm returning back home. So Larry Johnson attended a conference in St. Petersburg about Russia trade. I remember that. It was the same conference where, what's his name, Scott Ritter was pulled out of the plane. And the reason was pulled out of the plane because he was supposed to give a talk in that trade. That's to my knowledge, yeah. Good for 1 day in Shanghai is nothing. But remember, I spent almost a week when I got here. That's my return. Yeah, I saw certain things, but that's only for my return. So that's the reason why I decided, because I flew to Shanghai and I have to fly out of Shanghai back home. So how many days left in this trip, Dr. O? I'm supposed to be back home on the 24th. Yeah, that's so far. It's my first trip, so we'll figure out for next one how things gonna be. So there's the light coming on, guys, because it's getting darker a little bit, and now you can see at least a nice scenery here. Peace doesn't make them any money. You're right. You're absolutely correct. So, because here is the thing. As a speaker, if I would have been speaking about pushing for tensions with China, pushing for tensions with, about over Taiwan and so forth, I will be invited by many inside Washington, and they will pay me hefty sums of money. But I can't live with myself, knowing that I am saying lies and getting paid for it. I can't live with myself that way. I won't be able to look at myself in the mirror. So, and to me, I'll do whatever I can do in my own way here, with little that I can do with your help, because this trip, again, because of you, and that's it. Let the ship fall where they may. Sometimes you don't have to be thinking too much about the outcome. Do your part and let it be. So it'll work out. It'll work out. And today, when I visited the Canton Fair for the second time, it became clear to me as to where the priorities ought to be. They ought to be in investments, infrastructure, economy, not in tensions and war and conflict. It's so clear. You don't need a scientist, a rocket scientist to decipher this. It's very, 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 very clear. Xinjiang, yes, I am considering that one for my next trip. So, just remember, first trip, it's just my first one. So I am gonna be figuring out the time frame when I need to visit again. And the purpose is not tourism. The purpose is to learn more about the country, because I believe and I know for a fact the role that China is playing and is going to play even further in the trajectory of the global order. So that is, as geopolitical analyst, I have to think ahead, very ahead. So that's why I'm hoping one day, if I ever get a chance to do a speaking engagement here in China about that, I will be very, very thrilled if that opportunity presents itself. So if you know anybody, guys, that deals with the speaking in circles, whatever, I'd be happy to do this one down here. So let me, once again, check this out. I'm gonna show you the tower, because I did tell you I'm gonna get closer to the tower here, and I'm gonna show you right there, because it lit up now. Yeah, look at that. Unbelievable. Extend my ticket. Yes, I could, but it'll cost very, very much. And I do not like to waste money because it's a responsibility to me. When you guys funded this trip, I had to be responsible with the funding of that. It's just my nature. That's how I operate. Just because someone else funded the trip doesn't mean I go and plus they charge so much for. So I figured I may as well just go back home, then I'll do the trip some other time. So let me show you the tower one more time, because you need to see this. It's very, very incredible, impressive. Yeah, that's the 5:30. Indeed, that's the time for it. How did they put lights on the streets? Very, very methodical. In Shanghai, when I was walking during the holidays, they had lights with the flag and all across the street. I mean, you're talking a long stretch of road, and they managed to put them there, and it looked very nice. Looked very, very nice. What is the name of the tower? It's called Canton Tower, but there is another name for it in Chinese. The driver told me that name yesterday, and I forgot it. So I don't want to assume. I'll get those names for you guys later on. So, yeah, Canton Tower. Thank you for sharing this one here. Doc, you are lucky to go over to Shandong. Here business is more important. That is true. And I am hoping my next trip, I will make a trip to BRD. That's how they pronounce it here in China. Of course, for us English speakers, we pronounce it BYD. In China, they pronounce it BID. I am hoping next time to be able to visit their headquarters if they will like a visit, and why not even an interview, and just go from there. I did find some other models, and I might do a video for you guys on my last day before I leave. BID, you are correct. Hello. You want to show? You want to say hi? No, he's shy. He doesn't want to say hi. But he did say hi to me in English. They just don't feel comfortable in front of a camera, and I'm very respectful to that. So I said next trip, if it happens, I'd like to visit the headquarters if it's possible. There's someone who might help me with this. I don't disclose names because, guys, it's the request. It's like some of the donors for this trip. You know, you don't know. There are 4 people behind the scenes that I'm very grateful. I will remember this for the rest of my life, and from you as well. It's just their donations were substantial, and they requested one thing is to remain anonymous, and I gave them my word. So anyway. I will go to next trip. I'll make sure I'll visit BRD or BYD headquarters and meet with some executives if they will be willing to, because I can see now why the EU and the US imposing the tariffs. They won't want people to have access to those really good cars at an affordable price. They don't want that. I mean, for a luxurious one that is $20,000, I'll buy it in a heartbeat, but they won't want that. They don't want that. So, and it's the auto industry with the lobbyists that is preventing all this. That's just part of it. So, legacy auto already. This car, I forgot the name, but I have the location because I stopped by last time. So I intend to do a trip there, if I could, of course, and do a live from you from the location itself. So we see. Bless you, wonderful donors. Indeed, Khadija, indeed. I am forever grateful and I will pay it forward. It's not that they expect something in return from me. They did it out of the goodness of their heart. And that to me was meant more than you can even imagine. You know why? Because there are still good people out there. It's not about just the monetary. It's the decency that exists. It's that their soul, it's so good. There is a gentleman here just waving. Look at the wonderful people. Where are you from, if I may ask? Where? I don't know. Pakistan? Is it? No, India. Bangladesh. Yeah, I couldn't guess their country because they weren't close to me to see. So, once again, just to tell you guys, it's the goodness of their heart. And to me, it's a responsibility because it's now on me to pay it forward. And I will pay it forward one way or another. So, because that is the right thing to do. That you are still short of many beautiful souls. Yeah, I am not aware of the posts. You should revisit. Change a lot. Yeah, remember when I post something, I don't have the thumbnail yet. My thumbnail guy, Raj, is a wonderful human being. Also, he took initiative and started preparing the thumbnails for me, and I am so grateful to him for that. And yeah, there are some changes I'm gonna do, and we just move from there. So. I left Guangzhou in 1992 when I was a little kid. Well, I tell you, Guangzhou has changed big time. I am floored by what I'm seeing. Look at these guys here. I'm gonna share it. Look at this. Unbelievable. I know we have skyscrapers at home too, but the feel of this is different. Yeah, it's the energy. It's the energy, guys. You know, and I know in the Western culture they don't believe in stuff like that. Oh well, it's their life. They can decide whatever. So check this out. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah. All right, guys, I'm gonna take one last question before I sign off, and I don't know if I still can walk over this side. Oh, Shadow Walls, thank you so much for your super sticker. Truly appreciate you, man. I really appreciate you for that. Have you tried Sultan restaurant in Guangzhou? No, I did not. I did not. The U.S. government needs to spend more of its money going to make to build infrastructure. I couldn't agree more. And you know how that's going to happen? Voices of reason will have to speak louder. I hope to be one of those. You know, do I fear government? No, I don't. Well, what is the worst that can happen? Take me down? Yeah, there's only one life to live. I ain't gonna be scared of them. You die at least for dignity. You die for something you believe. So I'm not gonna worry. And they better not think in those terms. But they need to hear the truth. Because it matters. And it's my responsibility as a citizen. So that because I'm paying taxes. You know, I have to have the right to know where that taxes is. Do you guys know that in the Fourth Amendment, the citizens have the right to challenge the government as far as the spending of the tax dollars? You know, how many Americans know that? No. Same with any legislation. The Congress has to take, and if they refuse For example, you got 21% of the states, if they can sign on it, Congress will be forced to take on that legislation and vote on it. Because Congress works for the people. This is what it's supposed to be, but not ours. Our Congress works for itself. Corruption, simple as that. So, when you get the likes of whomever, they go into office and end up with millions and millions of dollars, how did they get that on a salary that is $150,000? 150, yeah, it was 150 for a senator and 75, I believe, for House of Representatives. So how did he end up with millions at the end of their term after 20 years? And why do they need to be in Congress for 20 years? Now, if they were doing something for the people, that would be great. I got no problem with that. But if they are doing it for themselves, then no, they need to be out. David, China just realized a roadmap for space. I'm aware of the recent launch they had about the satellites, but I'm also aware of the collaboration between them and the Russians regarding the research lab in space. It's going to be a major revolution when it comes down to the space technology and so forth, or the exploration. As a matter of fact, they extend the invitation to some countries. I don't know which one yet, but all I read was that some countries will be joining both China and Russia for this particular research program in space. So it's a big time. I mean, it was embarrassing enough that our astronauts were stuck in space. And did you guys know who brought them back? Can you type in the chat box? Who brought the 2 stranded astronauts from space back home? Let me see, guys, if you can write this in before I sign off. Russia, that is correct. That is correct. They came into Soyuz. We brought them back. And despite what we've been doing to the Russians. So, and that shows you right there. We have lost our moral ground, moral direction for doing the right thing. This is usually a bad sign when a system is falling. That's it. That's part of it. It's because we don't do the right thing anymore. And once you stop doing the right thing, that's it. You go downhill. And that's exactly what is going on to our country. Sadly enough. Sadly enough. But we shouldn't be. The easy way we always do it is shift the blame on others. Because we were never willing to look inward. I know some might think some in the US might be watching this and think I'm very harsh on our government. I'm very critical of our government. I'm sure I'm going to be reading some comments. But I don't care. I don't care because it matters. You know, you can't be too soft when you address fundamental issues. That's the challenge I had at teaching at the university back in here. Because I was told indirectly I have to be softer on the students. You know? Yeah. Well, I kind of made it clear. I don't care about how you feel. I care about how you think. And they didn't like that. So that's the difference. So anyway, guys, I am going to sign off here. It's really been a pleasure having you here in live stream, sharing this with you. I'm going to do one final view of the location I'm in, and I will sign off, and I'll get back to you in my next location either tomorrow or after tomorrow. So here's the view, guys. Yeah, you look all the way up. So I'm gonna go around and shift it back to the tower, the main one. I agree, always take stand because it matters. Like the saying goes, when it comes down in principle, stand like a rock in a river. Let me move out here so you'll see the tower here. Beautiful. Look at that. Look at this one. And by the way, if you look at this from far out, then the tower is in the middle between the two giant buildings. And I'm gonna raise it up here just to see. See what it is? Those are the buildings, right? The one on the right. Yeah, it looks like fake, but it's real. I was close to it. And I saw it. Here's this one. Yeah, it's incredible, guys. It's the memory I'm gonna take with me visiting Guangzhou, and this will not be my last trip. This is gonna be a beginning of a journey. So anyway, guys, I look forward to seeing you next time. As always, remember, geopolitics impacts your daily life in more ways than one. Till next time, guys. Bye-bye.